So we're starting again with clouds, and the reason why I'm starting again with clouds is I was looking at the data from our quizzes. I've been looking at the data from the things that we've been doing in class, and we are going to have to spend a little bit of time, very small amount of time, going over the layers of the atmosphere. We need to spend a little bit more time on weather instruments. We need to spend some more time on clouds. So we're going to be spending a good portion of this week in a lot of ways, Shayla, kind of reviewing. I'm going to do a new project, one that we have not done before that will hopefully help us. We're going to start looking a little bit closer at fronts, although that should be something very familiar to every single person in here if you've been doing rhyme the way you're supposed to. Fronts will not be a new term that you've never heard before, and so we should be able to go through that a little bit quicker. And we'll also talk about how wind forms. That's going to get us prepared for our upcoming test. I don't think we're going to get in 5 major grades this quarter because of all the time we've had taken out from us, unless we end up taking 2 tests. But I don't see us taking, I'm not going to like slam a test in just to have that. But there will be a project, and there will be another test here before the end of the quarter. Let me pause this for you. Now, as we've gone through this, I have no doubt that probably nobody's favorite cloud is Cumulus, Cirrus, or Stratus, although those are the 3 main types of clouds. Cumulonimbus might be someone's favorite. There's a few words in here that we need to jot down that we should already have in our notebook. So I shouldn't see a whole lot of writing going on today, unless you're just admitting to me you weren't doing the writing when we went over this the first time. Which is, if you didn't get it down, because the quiz is definitely Friday. The test is coming up very soon. So Cumulus, Stratus, and Cirrus. And Hunter, the reason why we need to be able to understand the different types of clouds is every type of cloud has a very specific type of weather that goes along with it. And most of the clouds that we have can give us a predictor of the weather that's about to happen, or weather that's coming towards us. We know that clouds, when we watch this video, clouds are named by how high they are, where they're located in the atmosphere. I think we saw that question on the quiz, right? Or was that just on the review that we did? It was on one of the two. It was either in the review that we did in Blukett, or that was on the quiz. I don't remember which one. But knowing that fact, you will see that again if you need to jot that down in your notebook. Clouds are named by where they are located in the atmosphere. So this might be one of the first things that I see some people writing down. This was in the video. Some of you already wrote it down. Some of you didn't. I know that I have seen questions very similar to this about how do clouds get their name. And they are named by how high they are located in the atmosphere. If we go back and watch that video, it kind of explains that a little bit about how clouds are named. All right, moving on. Our first cloud that we talked about was the Cumulus Cloud. Tell me some important facts about the Cumulus Cloud. They're on the anchor chart. They should be in your notes. Collins. Big, white, puffy, they're like cotton balls. That's the first, that's what they look like. What kind of weather can they kind of predict or they tell us about, Hayden? That day is going to be fair and sunny, right? If you see cumulus clouds, you're really not stressing anything, are you? So that's one of the first major ones. Those will obviously be on the quiz. Those will most definitely be on the test. And again, we covered all of this. If you don't have all of this written down, like, you can go back and watch today's video and pause it, or you should already have it in your notes. I'll leave that completely up to you. If you're at home and watching, you can pause this as much as you need to. Another cloud that is important that, again, will it be on the quiz this week? Most definitely. Will it show up on the test? Probably. Is the Stratus Cloud. Okay. Tell me a little bit about Stratus Clouds. Cameron. Covers the sky like a blanket. What kind of weather can we expect when we have stratus clouds? And there are some kind of interchangeable answers here. You could have light rain or drizzle on a day when you see clouds like this. or if it's cold enough, snow. What else can happen when you have a stratus cloud? We've talked about this. This was actually what we talked about in morning work. Dawson. That's cumulonimbus cloud. Brandon. It could happen during a warm front. We mentioned this specifically in morning work this morning about why the puddle would dry up faster on a sunny day versus a cloudy day, Jesse. Landon? Yeah, when there's stratus clouds and they're blocking the sun, they're reflecting some of those radiation waves that are coming out to heat us up. They block those and they reflect them back out into space, so it makes us a little bit cooler. On a cloudy day like this, it's going to be cooler outside. Now at nighttime, we talked about it's a little bit different, right? If it's in the summertime and you have a cloudy stratus cloud night, it kind of traps the heat like a blanket and keeps it a little bit warmer at night. And those are things that you could see. I could definitely see those kinds of questions popping up on an EOG or a benchmark. Stratus clouds. Again, if you're one of the people that are at home, do you have to know that it's a Latin word meaning to spread out? No. What you do need to know is they cover the whole sky like a blanket, and you can bring light rain, drizzle, or if it's cold enough, light snow. Do they always bring snow and rain? No. What's the name of the stratus cloud when it actually most definitely is bringing rain? It has that prefix that we put on there, Dawson. Nimbostratus. Really wish they would just keep those separate. I wish stratus clouds were just a day when it's covered and nimbostratus was rain, but they kind of changed those out and use them as the same term, which is fine. Cirrus clouds. What makes a cirrus cloud so different and so unique? Anna? They're thin and wispy. They look like feathers. That's good. Raina, what kind of weather am I going to have that day? It's going to be a sunny, again, another fair weather day. But what can that mean, Fabiana? A change in weather is coming. If you notice the way that these are curling, they're kind of curling, showing you that the wind is blowing from this direction over here, and it curls up this way. Cirrus clouds. There is something else about cirrus clouds that's kind of different. Sadie, what is that? Some of them are made of ice crystals, which is very odd, isn't it? But they're located so high in the atmosphere that when they form, they can be formed and made out of ice crystal. Again, about 8 miles high. That's a long way up if we were to have something like that. So cirrus clouds. Not worried about any storms. Not going to rain right now. I know that there could be a change coming. So if I'm out camping and I see some cirrus clouds, I'm probably going to be okay that day. But I might need to either think about A, packing up camp, or B, be prepared to sit inside the tent because it's raining the next day, right? Keep an eye on the weather and see what's going on. We talked a little bit about this morning, like already. We said there's some prefixes. Listen, I'm not as worried about you knowing Ciro meaning high, and alto meaning in the middle, and strato meaning low. I know that's even on our vocabulary for this week. I'm going to go ahead and tell you, that's not going to be on the quiz. It's not. Cumulus, stratus, cirrus, definitely going to be on the quiz. This will not be on the quiz, because I don't think that that's as important for you to understand. This will be on the quiz. And I'm not even sure that that's part of your vocabulary. Should probably go back and change some of that. But nimbo and nimbus are very important. And Dawson's already mentioned this. When I see the word nimbo at the beginning or nimbus at the end, that means that cloud is most definitely associated with what? If I see nimbo or nimbus attached to it, Mackie, it's some type of precipitation. And that changes with how hot or cold it is, right? So again, this is kind of a review. When I made this slideshow, we're kind of reviewing. We've already gone over cirrus clouds. Do we need to memorize cirrostratus? No, they're in there for us back when we used to do a little bit of deeper dive into clouds, so we'll go past that. Do I need to memorize Serocumulus? No, I just know that they are very high cumulus clouds based on the prefix there. Moving on. Alto cumulus, I'm going to keep going on. Alto stratus, I'm going to keep rolling on. Stratus clouds, obviously we have to know, but we've already covered that. Nimbostratus. Is it possible that we might see this word on a quiz or a test. Absolutely. What makes nimbostratus clouds so different from the other ones that we've studied so far? Landon. Definitely have precipitation. Not every cloudy day when it's stratus clouds rains. We had like stratus like all over the school for like a whole day the other day. It never rained once. Nimbostratus means it's most definitely raining. Again, light precipitation, depending on what it is, could be for a little bit of a while there. Serocumulus, I don't need. Is cumulonimbus important, or should I keep moving? Cumulonimbus. Gunnar, why is cumulonimbus? You say it's important. Some people say it's not. Why would you think it's important? That means thunderstorms, right? Is it important to know this cloud? Well, yeah. I mean, should you plan a picnic if you see this? No. That would not be a very good day outside, right? If you're going to play in a softball tournament, the odds of it getting delayed and canceled that day are kind of high. They're not going to let you swing a metal bat when there's lightning outside. I mean, that might add some excitement to the game. Boom, I'm guessing she's out. Well, maybe, I don't know, right? So, again, they have flat bottoms and they have that anvil-shaped top. I don't know that that's super important, but we looked at the anvil and we all said that that's the thing that the Roadrunner drops on the Coyote's head. But again, if you happen to see that word, I need you to understand what that means, Nolan. But again, when you see these thunder clouds, these cumulonimbus clouds, heavy precipitation, possibly flooding, thunder, lightning, very important. You can see hail form. This is the only cloud that I need to worry about hail. It's not coming out of a cumulus, stratus, certainly not a cirrus cloud, right? It's only going to come out of the cumulonimbus cloud. So when you have a cumulonimbus cloud, it is a sign from nature saying, hey, we're about to put on a show here. Beware, because it's very, very important for you to understand that cloud. Contrails, I feel like I've seen that question show up before. What is contrails short for, Nolan? They do come out of a jet. Do you know what? It's short for a term, Judah. Condensation trail. So it is a type of cloud. But again, when the jets are going by, again, I got to change that. The Samade. Mostly water. And what happens is the jets are flying so high when the exhaust is coming out the back, there's water vapor in that. And that water vapor very, very quickly, because of how high it is, loses its heat and changes to ice crystals. And so you have contrails or condensation trails. Whoops. Go back to that. Yeah. I don't think if I put contrails on the quiz that anybody's going to miss that, though, right? That's especially when I add the pictures, you certainly shouldn't miss it. Even though sometimes when I put the pictures on there with the word in the picture, we still miss it. Fog can most definitely show up. If you were to describe fog, how would you describe fog? It's a type of cloud. It is a cloud that does what, Nolan? It is. Fog is a cloud that's touching the earth. If you call it a stratus cloud, for right now, you're fine. If you go into meteorology school or something, they might correct you on that. I think it's like a cousin of a stratus cloud. I don't know what makes the difference in those two, to be honest with you. You need to know that fog is a very low cloud that's touching the earth. That part is extremely important for us. So in preparation for this week's quiz, seriously, let's take a look at this. You should have this in your notes. Does this sound like an easy quiz? Okay, can we please make up for some of the stuff that we did last week? Cumulus, cumulonimbus, contrails, stratus, nimbostratus, cirrus, fog, and how clouds are named. That is pretty much going to be your entire quiz. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And I guess you could maybe put, whoops. Nimbo and nimbus will be on there. Rain clouds. That's it, right? So when we're looking at the clouds for this week, I think this is a fairly simple review. Would you all agree with that? Okay, we're going to do a very quick, minorly quick assignment with clouds together. I think I've got a recording online for people how to do that if they're at home, and we'll work on that together, and then we're going to be done reviewing clouds for today. Sound good? All right, so if my people are at home, do I have a few seconds? Smash the like button and subscribe.